welcome back to Touch the Plate Tarot. Thank you for being here today. We have just had the vernal equinox, the spring equinox on March the 20th, and that ushered in Aries season. In astrology, Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, and on March 20th, we moved from Pisces, the sun moved into Aries. So now we are at the Astrological New Year. So Happy New Year. We're going to take a look today. Tune in with what message you need to hear the most here for Aries season. What is it that the universe or your spirit guides want you to know with this astrological new year? What might guide you? We're going to really leave this open to whatever messages are going to come through. We're going to try and not have a specific question, and this just lets naturally find out what messages come forward and trust that it will be what you need to hear. So, for group number 1, you have King John. And by the way, this is from the wonderful Sherwood Oracle, which I was recently gifted. Thank you. This is a beautiful deck as we're entering the season of spring, because it brings with it the natural feelings of the forest, and there's also botanicals sometimes within the meanings of these cards. So that's really a fun thing to have here for this spring equinox reading. King John, he's card number 17, and he is paired with the smoky quartz. For group number 2, you have Maid Marian's Bower. That's card number 27, and that is paired with the rose quartz. And for group number 3, you have Alan-a-Dale, and he's featured with the apple tree, and paired with Alan-a-Dale is the green Grossular Garnet. So tune in to which group or groups is calling to you, because there may be more than one message that wants to come through. And you can find the timestamps in the description box below to jump directly to your reading. I'll let the camera roll for just a little while as you tune into each card or crystal or combination and find out which message is right for you today. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in your reading. Hello, group number 1. Welcome. Thank you for being here today. Let's find out what you need to know with the Astrological New Year, what you need to know for Aries season. Let's find out what messages wanted to come out. That card really felt like it wanted to pop out. Night Ride. Okay. What messages does group 1 need to hear? Message or messages? What do they need to know right here in Aries season? Do one more shuffle. Apollo. Okay, let's take take a look at your tarot, find out what. Can we have more messages, please, for group number 1? The 9 of Cups. The World card. That's very synchronistic because I accidentally saw it at the bottom of the deck. And I thought, oh, if it wants to come out, it will come out. There it is. There are no accidents. I picked those up in reverse. I don't typically take reversals when I'm doing these longer readings. But when an accident like that happens, there's no such thing as an accident. Those cards needed to come out, and they wanted to come out in reverse. So we go with it. We need this, the Star. I think this wants to be seen in Justice. Let's cover up that Star card per YouTube's rules. We need to cover up the World card too, don't we? Try and keep her face visible. Okay. I have an idea where this is going, but let's take a closer look at King John. This Sherwood or Oracle deck has companions and adversaries. So King John, if you're familiar with the stories of Robin Hood, King John is an adversary character. So the greedy King John, who is very, very skilled administratively, such that he could really tax and really make life difficult for the people of Nottingham. This is an intelligent character and a truth seer, and that may be why you smoky quartz. It has clarity, but it also has darkness. There may be a message here about trust. Let's find out what we need to know about King John. He's calling you to assess your current situation. Ask yourself how much of it is a result of your own folly, how little the things that are weighing you down truly matter. He's calling you to look at the greater scheme of things. Cast aside moods and determinations of your everyday life and seek the greater picture. Oh, here, this I think is probably the key here of why you were drawn to King John today. It says, I may not bring the outcome you seek, but I will bring answers you cannot deny. So yeah, we're talking about a message here for you today about some truth. And that truth may be, like King John himself, harsh. So the tree behind him here is the black thorn. And let's take a look at the meaning of the black thorn. Okay, it's a flowering tree, and the flowers, oh, okay, this is the timing here for this card coming out is really interesting. This is a flower that comes out at the very beginning of spring, when it's still too cold for other plants to really start to bud, the flowers of the blackthorn come out. And the blackthorn is this sign of the fertility of the year to come, but it's also sorry, I just have to skim through here and find out what it is I wanted to bring to your attention. The thorns are not specifically poisonous, but it's said that wounds made by the blackthorn often become infected. So this is a very dangerous plant, and it also mentions here that the blackthorn is these are the thorns that were surrounding Sleeping Beauty in that famous story. So there's a duality here, because the flowers of the blackthorn bring hope, but it's actually a very dangerous plant. The tree also, under the notes about the tree, it says to be ready to travel hard roads to reach the goal you seek. So that's talking again about the pain, about the promise of hope, but the pain to get there. Okay. Night Ride seems very in keeping with this theme as well. Let me just double check. Okay, the elephant in this card is actually sending the stars up into the night, and that is what's lighting the way. So there's a similarity here, that we have a darkness, but we have some glimmer of hope to light the way, and that may be similar to the message of the flowers from the blackthorn. Again, we have a message here of Apollo is asking here to ask you to put aside emotion, so that it's not getting in the way of what your goals are. And that's a similar message from the King John card. Okay. We have a message here about seeing the bigger picture. King John was so focused on abundance, and the abundance that's coming out here in this Nine of Cups card doesn't seem, it seems like the abundance may be a bit of a distraction from the bigger picture. Okay. You're being called, group number 1, to evaluate where your focus is. Are you currently, and not saying that this isn't important, but are you currently very, very focused on wealth and abundance, such that something else is slipping away and is not getting the focus? This is an opportunity to evaluate. I'm finding it very interesting. So we have justice. We have something sneaky going on, and we have the Hanged Man, and he came out in reverse. So the Hanged Man is normally hanging upside down to see something from a different perspective. In this reading, these two cards came out in a reversed position. This is looking at okay. Group number 1, you may think You may think that you're seeing this clearly. You may think you're seeing the bigger picture here, but the bigger picture is actually this. There's some sneaky energy that's being revealed to you and brought to justice. And that sneaky energy may be misplaced. How am I gonna... This is sort of a twisting and turning concept here. The energy and focus that you have been giving to this, when you needed to be giving to this. You think you're seeing clearly, but you're not. King John here is, he doesn't have good motivations, but he sees clearly. You're being asked to bring clarity to your situation. Because your motivations are good and well-intended, but something about your abundance, about your effort is being channeled to the wrong place. This would be, I'd like to try and give an example how that might apply in the real world. For, let's say, if you had decided you were going to be donating to a charity, and you think you're doing a great thing, you're bringing your wealth, and you are having good intentions that you're putting it in the right place, but there's some sneaky energy happening, and that charity may not be being honest about how they're actually using their money. And this clarity, you realize you realize you need to look at it from a different point of view. And when you do, you see it, you see where that money's being funneled in a place where it shouldn't be going. You have clarity, and then that gives you the control to be able to shift where your efforts and intentions are going to a more positive place. And that allows you to bring more justice to the world by being able to get the clarity. You may need to turn yourself upside down to get clarity. And the King John, he doesn't have good intentions, but he can see it all very clearly. Here's something that you thought you saw clearly, but you didn't. And it is allowing you the opportunity to look for that. And I don't want anyone to come away from this reading with a suspicious mind frame. This is an important time to talk about discernment. You'll know, you'll have a gut feeling. Maybe you already had this gut feeling, but your mind was saying, no, everything is cool. Trust your gut feeling. If there's something somewhere in your working life, in your personal endeavors, if there's something that felt a little bit off and you were trying to convince yourself, it's all good. Yeah, you might want to do a little bit more information digging. Change your perspective, look at it from a different angle, and this sneaky energy here may be revealed to you. You'll be able to be like this elephant, and you'll be able to be that light in the darkness that allows a path forward. And it's important with this message from Apollo to not beat yourself up about it, pull back from those negative emotions, because now that you see, that gives you the control, that puts you in the position to be able to change focus to what's important in the big picture. And don't beat yourself up over what you might not have seen and wish you had seen. That's okay. That's okay. It wasn't your fault because you couldn't see, but now that you do, that's great. And now you can bring a little bit more justice to the world because you see something clearly. Group number 1, I hope this was helpful. It was interesting to see what message that King John would have for you that would help you out in the coming astrological month. And this star card here is shining a light. Once you've been able to understand something's going on, you look at it from a different perspective, you see clearly, and that is shining a light that can guide you. It's like the follow those little glimmers of light. Follow those blossoms. They're leading you to spring. And group 1, thank you for being here today. If you are resonating with this message, please give me a like and subscribe. That really helps the channel grow. Thank you for being here today, and I hope to see you in another reading. Bye. Hello and welcome, group number 2. You chose Maid, Marian's Bower and the Rose Quartz. Let's find out. Maybe we have more messages for group. That was pretty clear. May we find more messages for what does group number 2 need to know for the Astrological New Year and the Aries season? Message or messages? This is a very gentle, welcoming energy that I'm really... I almost said image. Why did I say that? Why was I almost having a slip of the tongue there and said image? I wonder why. Feeling like we want 2 of these. Maybe have more information. I think it's bottom of the energy here. I did it again. Another strange slip of the tongue. Okay. This group number 2 needs to know. Maybe have more information for group number 2 of Wands. Feeling this, but also whatever this was, I wanted to be seen. The Ace of Swords. Swords are words. Swords are ideas. So you've got the Knight of Swords and the Ace of Swords. Feeling too many cards. Okay, cards, which one do you want? Let's get one more. Maybe it's 2 more. Okay. Maid Marian's Bower. Let's take a look at the message here. Okay. Here is the Maiden of Spring, it says. A place of wisdom and mystery. Her bower is woven from the boughs of magical woods and decorated with the blossoms of May. So this is really an appropriately timed card for spring. Here, the Maiden of Spring holds court, inviting her guests within to sit in silence and peace, or to talk over their troubles. You may speak openly the deepest secrets of your heart and find healing for your troubled soul. Issues of family, friendship, love of every kind whispers its own truth to your ears. Enter here when you seek peace, healing, and wisdom. Let Maid Marian trace the deep paths that lie before you and salve all wounds and fears. Okay, that's that gentleness. It seems that this is an opportunity to have compassion for yourself and gentleness with yourself. Let's take a look at all is connected. This seems to be a similar energy that Maid Marian might be able to bring wisdom. All is connected. I happened in the guidebook to open to the page for the transformation card, and a keyword there is seek answers. It seemed like I was supposed to see the words seek answers. Okay, 12. All is connected. Transformation is a key word for this card as well. Innovation, transformation, growth, and release. Oh, okay. So to look closely at the card, and you will see here there is a tiny spider holding delicately onto these very thin webs that are connecting the leaves. Okay. Even though the wind threatens to tear them apart, the spider is holding on to these leaves by connecting them all. It says, don't be afraid of changes. Release your fear by letting go. Change is hard and often painful, but it is the only way to grow. Life is reshaped into something new by the wind. Not better or worse, but different. In that change lies wonder and openings. Okay, this is being gentle with yourself through change. You've got the Temperance card, which is also makes me think of being gentle with yourself. And this is discover the inner beauty of things. Are there changes happening around you by a force not of your control? You're experiencing the wind, and the wind is bringing the change, and you're being invited to try and find the beauty within that change. The wind is moving swiftly. This is a swift change. You're invited here to not fight against this change. There's a sense here of observing. There's an observing happening here. An observing. You're being called, your attention is being called to look at something and to find the beauty that can bring. You are being invited to examine. Is there a new something new brought into your world and is putting you in an energy of feeling like you don't know how to navigate that. The Fool doesn't know where he's going, but he is open to the experiences along the way. And that's an energy that could help you out in this change is coming, whether you are ready for it or not. And it's going to move quickly, whether or not you move quickly. The figure here is still, yet the wind is blowing by. Marian's bower, if one were to sit on this bench here, these branches would shelter from the wind. The wind would still move by. There's an invitation to find stillness and observe. The Page of Wands is still and he's observing. The Page of Cups is still, he's observing. Even the Two of Wands here, there's a stillness and an observing. That is what we want to do here. And by observing, you may be able to see beauty where you didn't realize you were going to see beauty. Where this wind might seem frustrating, if you kind of observe the wind, you'll see the leaves blowing in it. You indeed can appreciate the beauty that is each leaf. And with that wind, that will change the landscape around you, and that's okay. Try not to feel, even though the things around you are rushing. This is an invitation to find stillness. I feel like it'd be helpful to find more information about why the King of Pentacles came out in this reading. Can we clarify the King of Pentacles? The Ten of Cups. The King of Pentacles is telling us that by finding stillness and observation, and by following the advice here from the cards of seeing, observing the beauty in things, this swiftly moving energy will eventually change around you, and you'll find yourself in this. I think maybe the Ten of Cups is the happiest card in the deck. And to get here, that will happen around you, and to be patient. I'm called to notice, okay, we have seen these two pages. They're observing something specific. Right? He's looking at the fish that's in this cup. The Page of Wands is observing the wand. I'm not sure what meanings we might actually draw from that, but we're going to just say he has an ability to see and appreciate that wand in whatever he might choose, in whatever way he might choose to. The difference here with the Page of Swords, swords can be words. They can bring clarity to a situation. They can bring truth to a situation. The words can... Sorry, I had a brief interruption there. The difference here being that the swords might hurt. There might be things blowing around in this wind that hurt. The Page of Swords is choosing to look away from the sword, knowing that in time, those cutting words will dissolve. They'll float away in the wind. The Page of Swords is specifically not, maybe this Ace of Swords is something harsh, something cutting. The knife edge can be, harmful words, and they came in swiftly. The Page of Swords here is asking you to intentionally look away from that and find stillness, because you can find beauty. And it's like a message of this too shall pass. And in time, the winds will calm and you will be able to be back in a Ten of Cups type of energy. Group number 2, I hope you found something valuable here in the message today. If you resonated with the message, please give me a like and a subscribe. That helps to grow the channel. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in another reading. Bye. Hello and welcome. Group number 3, you have chosen card number 8, Alan Adale, and he is featured with the apple tree in this card and paired with the intriguing Grossular green Garnet. So let's find out, what messages do you need to hear for Aries season in this new astrological month, as well as the new astrological new year? What messages do you need? These cards are very slippery right now. What messages do you need? It's that one. Okay. Oh, sunny day. Okay. Can we get messages for group number 3? Looks like we want 2 of these today. We have messages for group number 3 for the upcoming Aries season. When the cards just want to jump like that, you need to take them. So King of Cups really wanted to show himself in this reading. Okay. Can we have more messages for group? That one almost got away from me. For group number 3, we have more messages. This group 3 need to hear. Oh, how interesting. We've pulled the moon card showing this eclipse image right underneath the Oh Sunny Day card. We'll have to find out what that means. Maybe have, okay. There's bounciness to these cards today. Feels like a very energetic reading. Okay. Do have any more messages for group number? This wanted to, okay. I think I'm seeing some of this develop. We'll have to, per YouTube's rules, try not to get our video removed. Okay. Wanting to remind myself what Oh Sunny Day is about. Keywords are new beginnings, luck, and optimism. Oh. Okay. How nice it is to welcome the new day, especially with 3 little talismans of good luck. I had to I had to pick up the card before I could actually see that these are ladybugs. There's a 3rd ladybug right there. That's definitely what the guidebook's wanting to draw our attention to here. Let us forget yesterday's worries and regrets, and don't allow the past to linger into today. All of the moments in this day are brand new, never before seen. You have the power to make good things happen. You can make today your lucky day. That is really okay. This is developing nicely. We have a message here about humility and trusting the higher wisdom, and the gentleman card in this deck has always eluded me, and I have to look it up every time because, surprisingly so, the guidebook, even though I don't get this from this card, the guidebook says charm. Seduction is often the most effective weapon. And when I first opened the guidebook, my eyes went directly to the next card in the deck, and I read that first. And the next card in the deck is the Knight card, and it says, fighting for the weak is the duty of the noble. And it's my intuition here that that message also wanted to come out because my eye was drawn to it so directly. So I do believe we have the message from the gentleman about being seductive seduction is the most effective weapon, but we're also wanting, let's also keep in mind the message about fighting for the weak is the duty of the noble. And indeed, we are using the Sherwood Forest deck today, and that is indeed what Robin Hood and his band of outlaws do. So let's take a closer look at Alan Adale. Like I may have said in the intro that this is a new deck to me, so I have been getting familiar with the deck, practicing with it, getting to know it, and Alan keeps, not only is he the first card I drew from this deck when I first opened it up, he also keeps coming back each time I pick up the deck. So there's a message here that very badly wants to be revealed. So let's talk about keywords for a second for this card. We have music, cleverness, clear sight, romance, vision, a solitary path, a lover, a dreamer, a passionate soul. This is really interesting, especially given that we also drew the Lover's card. And we have the King of Cups. The King of Cups is very in touch with his emotional world, where we have the moon that's come out, and that's very that's a very dreamy energy that's being sort of looking to the night, into the dream time for guidance, in the way that I resonate with this card. Seven of Cups is a call to look deeper, exploring the mysteries within the dream time. In the story of Alan, when he meets Robin, Robin wants to actually steal from him, but then Robin takes the time to find out his story, and he doesn't really actually have much, except for money that he was going to use to marry his love. When Robin finds out that, let me just double check the story here, that the one he was going to marry is marrying someone else, Robin takes it upon himself to disguise his band of outlaws as people there to play music for the wedding. And in seeing this play out, little John actually marries the couple. And that's an interesting story. Seek me out in matters of marriage and relationships. Listen to my music and let its magic soothe the pains of love and fate. In the depths of a forest, you may find solace learning that even loneliness can benefit your life. As challenger, seek to find honesty in your life, especially in matters of love. You may see the one to whom you are drawn beyond your reach. Look for the reasons why. The blessing, when faced with doubt or uncertainty, look within and acknowledge that you are who you are and not who others make you. Find strength in seeming weakness. Remember to keep your balance and do not let random events overwhelm you. When we look at the message from the apple tree, the guidebook is telling us to look for answers in your dreams, which is what we're seeing here. That's what we're seeing here. Find wisdom everywhere around you. Remember how your vision came to you and how it grew. Do not deny your own abilities, and listen to the words of others and test their truth. This guidebook comes with these wonderful meditations for each card. It says, see Alan Adale wandering in the forest paths, strumming his lute and singing in his clear tones. Walk at his side, and after a while he finishes his song and turns to look at you with a smile. Ask for what you need, he says, and you unburden yourself of your issue. Alan may sing another song that chimes in your memory or simply gives you an answer. Okay, there is a message of get into the dream time, and there's a message here throughout a number of these cards of the importance of music. Music can unlock things for us. I'm drawn to the phrase here that a song can chime in your memory. A song, a tune, it can awaken some truth that's been lying dormant within. Sound healing works in very much that same way. If you are called to sound healing, that is a wonderful modality for pulling truths to the surface, unlocking self-knowing that for whatever reason was clouded from you, and really taking a look and finding honesty within that. Possibly something that you thought was right for you. Here's the message of humility coming in with this card. Maybe something that you thought was right for you. If you really tune in and you listen to that beautiful song of life and pay attention to the notes that resonate within you, and I'm using song metaphorically, in whether actual music is part of it or not, find something that awakens truth in you. And do so in an authentic way. In the story, Alan Nadale finds a way to be in touch with what has happened. And music seems to be something that aids him in the story. So I would, and it talks about, oh, sunny day. It talks about the talismans of luck. I'm drawn to the way the ladybugs seem to be crawling up the mushroom. The mushroom might kind of evoke, the dream time in terms of its symbology. And the ladybugs are actually crawling up as though they are little nuggets of truth that want the character in the card to see them. And the music, let music aid you. Maybe you haven't been listening to a lot of music. Maybe it's time to get in touch with what music really resonates with your soul, and allow yourself to really feel the emotion of the music. And that might indeed be different than the type of music that you were called to earlier in your life. It is okay to change and evolve. Energy is constantly shifting within ourselves, within our life, and it's okay to reattune to what lights us up. Find joy within music or other forms of art which call to you, and that can start to open up the dream time for you. It might activate your psyche in a different sort of way, trigger more dream recollection. Maybe you have some things sort of bottled up that want to come to the surface, to be seen authentically, and do not fight that process. Allow it. This is unnecessary. This sort of fighting and competition. Don't get in a mindset where you feel like you need to be in competition with an old version of you. Allow your path to change for something more beautiful, and it may be different than where you have been. The King of Cups has the wisdom to know that these wands are not as heavy as they seem. Music and other forms of art have an ability to shift our mood. And in shifting our mood, we may bring more joy and charm. Alan Nadale is a charming figure to be with, to be around, and lifts the mood. And that can allow a lifting of energy, a shifting of energy, and those wands can become lighter. You can reflect on why some of those wands are even there at all. And then you have the freedom to refocus and get back to work on building that new version of reality that you're looking toward. The Lover's card is beautiful because it makes me think of internal passion. And that passion can be in a relationship, it can be a particular person, but there's more energetically going on than physical attraction. There's an attraction to the dream, the idea. There's an opening to different possibilities that draws a person. And it is calling you, and this might be part of the sort of symbology of the Astrological New Year. What's calling you? What do you want to make conscious steps toward? How do you want to reframe your life energetically to allow a beautiful new path to unfold? The advice here is to follow that passion, to get still, discover what's inside, get honest in identifying what that new reality might be for you, and use the passion that you feel to move toward that reality. I'm reminded of how in the way it describes the character of Alan, it talks about him walking through the forest playing his music. Allow yourself to move along the path and not be stagnant. And don't get caught up in fighting to be the person you were in the past, because that will foster that sort of weight. Allow yourself to see past that, and you can become lighter. You can move forward. You can allow what you see when you look within to guide you toward that sensation of, oh, this is a beautiful new day. Allow your intuition to guide you through that process. Wow, what a beautiful reading that I have for you today, group number 3. I hope you found something valuable here. If this message resonated with you, please give me a like and subscribe, and I'd love to have you back for another reading.